Hi, my name is Daisy Dominguez, and I'm going to be talking about adolescence and social media. Social media has more than ever become a part of our daily lives. Almost every person nowadays has at least one social media account or online presence, especially among those in the younger generation. A study conducted by the Pew Research Institute concluded that as a part of February 2021, at least 72% of the overall American population is active at least in one social media platform. With this being said, what we can say is the impact social media has on us, in particular, our mental health and psyche. Everyone has such easy access to them today through our smart devices, and these platforms touch every aspect of our lives. We can use them in our best moments, our lowest. They can even become someone's primary source of income, or they mark the end of their whole career. I personally can recall multiple times I have caught myself wanting to post a moment on Snapchat or Instagram without even thinking about it. And it had almost become second nature to me. These instances were the ones that made me interested in this subject in the first place and drew me to understand that I'm not alone, and quite possibly it had become the norm. Within that same study, data showed that demographic that the most overall usage of social media was those between the ages of 18 through 29, having a total of 90% of those part of the study group being active in at least one of these sites from data as of 2019. To put that into perspective, into how crazy that number is, the same age group only had 54% turnout for the 2020 election. For this age group to be so dedicated and proactive than the others is astonishing. Looking at existing research in adolescent psychology, data from the Center of Collegiate Mental Health noted that anxiety and depression were the most common claims and concerns among the surveyed population. Being 185,000 students within the same range of 18 through 24. Thus, what about our younger generation's mental health, and how is it affected by these sites? How does social media have an effect on their psyche, as they are the ones that use it up the most while also developing their own ideals? Can we point to social media as the source of our youth's mental problems? Now, I'm not trying to imply that correlation equals causation, and that's why I attempted to seep through any current research that tried to indicate any correlation among the ages younger than 18. The task was proven to be a lot more difficult than I originally determined, as there is not much concrete data or studies that incorporate those younger than 18. A meta-study conducted by the Internal Journal of Adolescents and Youth in 2019 reviewed 13 articles out of a pool over 4,000 due to lack of essential information or results and falling outside of their target age range between 13 to 18. These results from the meta-study proved to be non-conclusive, and it ultimately determined that the existing research failed to concretely find a correlation between anxiety, depression, or psychological distress to the use of social media. All studies had followed a similar construction of measuring those three to time spent, activity, investment, and addiction. Throughout the 13 and in all four categories, they all propose opposing results. Some found none or an inverse correlation, while others found strong connections between psychological stress and social media use of any level. A couple of things that I take note from the meta studies was that firstly, all the analyzed articles were conducted in multiple countries, so hence cultural and social norms may have ultimately impacted the results. And secondly, one of the final conclusions made by the meta-study was that there was no potential that we can currently prove the causation of psychological stress due to social media use, primarily since social truths, as they state, aren't measurable, therefore cannot be used as concrete evidence. The 13 studies prove that by finding direct correlations, but not being able to directly point to causation. The reason why I use this meta-study as the foundation of my presentation is due to the fact that my own personal research yielded similar, if not the exact same results. I found myself wishing that more research could have been placed into this topic, as it is a real issue that has had very real side effects. Currently, social media has become some of the most powerful methods of communication in the world. As earlier stated, they have become the main source of income for hundreds of people, creating celebrities from regular people from all over the world. Sites like YouTube, Instagram, and examples of this, with creators such as PewDiePie and Kylie Jenner being some of the most successful and influencing from both platforms. The term influencer itself is a testament to the power that these sites hold. But not only are the celebrities of these sites cause of major influence, but moreover are the users themselves and their interactions. Cyberbullying is a massive and complicated problem that has the most severe consequences of anything that social media has to offer. And there are documented cases of people committing suicide from harassment they experienced online. An example of this would be the case of Carson Bride, a 16-year-old who committed suicide after non-stop harassment from sites such as Snapchat. And all of this talk of the negatives of social media is not intended to completely demonize it. It's also to bring awareness to problems that thousands of teenagers experience every single day. There have been many great positive things that come from social media, such as #Trees movement that was started by a YouTuber named Mr. Beast, with its goal being to raise funds for reforestation efforts while bringing awareness to massive deforestation issues our world is facing. With me facing the reality that more concrete research needs to be made from this subject, I also want to make it clear that social media will only bring you anxiety or depression. For some, their online presence has only been one of positive interactions. We cannot discount those who have been fallen victim to stressors of social media. And thank you.
Okay, I can edit this part out.